Понял, под моим управлением. Наблюдаю у вас 292 на 94.
Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we are going to take a look at the new premium aircraft on the German tech tree. We are going to make kind of a guide, not a guide, but should you buy video basically. So yeah, I got it from the store. So yeah, it's a pretty cool aircraft. I mean, it's just a PFM. It has the same engine, and it has the same radar, the same avionics. It has the same gun, the GSH-23 with 200 rounds. It has basically the same flight model. It's just the same aircraft. The differences between the PFM that we have in the Soviet 3, of course this one, and the SPS is that it uses a different approach to the secondary weapons. So to air to ground, we have the same armament as always. So a couple of 500 Fab 500s, 500 kilos. Um, which are the M54, which is not the greatest bomb ever, but it's okay, I guess. It has the 250 as well, some S24s, and of course the S5s, which is a decent payload for air to ground, but it's I mean it's not that great. It's not as good as the PFM. I mean the PFM on the Soviet 3 we have the K-66, which is a semi-automatic, basically a moused guided whoops, a moused guided missile, this one, but we don't have it on the German one. But the main difference is the missiles. So you can carry a pylon for 2 missiles like this. It only has 2 pylons, but the rack, I mean, you can carry 4 of them. If they are the R3, the R3s, so you can carry, 4 R3Ss, which is kind of fun. I mean, it's not the greatest missile ever, especially now with the buff in the flares, but it's still a very good, a pretty reasonable missile at this BR. You can also take the R3Rs, 4 of them, as you see, pretty cool. But the cream, the better missiles that we have are the R13M. So we don't have the R13M1, it's just the M version. So it's kind of it's a mix between the R3S and the M9J basically. It's a mix between of the middle of them, you know. The M1 is pretty similar to the M9J, but this one is actually not as good. But it has a decent range. It burns for a long time, so yeah, pretty good missile. And of course we have the R60, which is a standard missile of the Russian Tech tree, so pretty good. At 10.0, it's a pretty nice missile to have. I mean, you only have 2 for some reason, but I mean, it's very, very good missile for this BR. So even though the flares are kind of OP right now, with this missile you can actually, at this BR, with this missile you can actually stay, I mean, relatively safe getting kills. So it's pretty easy to get kills with it. But another difference between the PFM and the SPS is that the PFM originally didn't have a cannon itself. It only had a pod. So if you look on the Soviet tree, you can see that it's a pod. It's the same one. I mean, it's attached on the underbelly of the aircraft, but the SPS has this same pod of the gun, okay? But in the SPS you can actually remove it, the pod, and install a chef pod, basically the SPS 141 ECM pod, which in game translates to flares and chef. So you have to choose between having 200 rounds of ammunition and having flares and chef. Ideally, I mean, I would advise to use the cannon on lower battle rating tiers of some battles, and when you get to high tiers, top tiers, you would use this because you won't be able to survive without the flares and stuff. So yeah, but it's a pretty good. I think this kind of, I mean, convinced me to have this MiG, just because you have a lot of options. Normally, I'm taking the guns with the R60, of course, because you have the most guns and the better missiles. But also, if you want to, you can take 20 minutes and take, for example, four or two of them, of the R3Rs and two of the R3Ss, so you still have four missiles, and still have the flares, which can be very good against slow flying aircraft, and of course head-ons with the R3Rs, and of course the R3Ss for maybe some sneak kills with the IR missiles. So yeah, you have a pretty good amount of gameplay styles. You can, I don't know, fly low and get people by surprise by a very large range with the R13s as well, which is kind of fun to use, especially not having a cannon. You just fire the missiles and go back to base. So yeah, pretty cool aircraft in general. I mean, my idea here, that I bought this aircraft is not to grind the German tree. Of course, I have basically everything. I'm getting with the discounts. I'm buying all of these, and of course the bombers after that. But I don't need it for this. I just bought it because it's a PFM, and it's kind of fun to fly this aircraft. It's very different from the PFM that we already have in the Soviet Tech tree. Of course, the BR is much higher, but it can take care of itself. So yeah, it's pretty good as well. So yeah, let's see the. Of course, it has the flares and stuff. All the modifications when you buy it are already in place. And let me show to you guys the three camouflages that we have. So we have this one, which is just a normal GDR silver painting. We have the standard, which is the Luftwaffe one. I think it was from some kind of demonstration squadron or something. I don't know the exact story of behind this skin, but it's pretty cool. Look at this, pretty beautiful, like a shark nose and the colors of Germany. And the one that I want the most, which is the bicolor camouflage from the GDR. Look at this. Look at the underbelly. And probably, I mean, I think probably the SPS will receive more camouflages in the future, which is also pretty nice. So yeah, let's get into some battles and try to show how to use this aircraft a little bit, okay? But yeah, pretty cool aircraft in general. I would advise you to buy it if you have the money to spare. I mean, I had the gaijins to get 1 year of premium and probably another year, and get this bad boy. So I had a lot of gaijins from the events to get this. So if you have, that money to spare, I think it's a very good addition to your tree. So let's get into the battles. So here we are in a battle, guys. Look at it. The BR is amazing for this aircraft, which, yeah, it can be very fun to fly. As you see, the cockpit is the same as on the PFM because it's a PFM, obviously. I must say to you guys that if you are liking this video, please subscribe, considering subscribing. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you consider, I would like it very much. So yeah, and let's see how it does in battle. So here in this payload, I'm actually using the cannon together with two R60s. I'm going to show one battle with this loadout and then another battle with the R3Rs and chaffs and flares, and then I'm going to give my verdict of how this thing flies. But it's beautiful, right? Look at this. I love this PFM. Yeah, it's such a beautiful aircraft. So warming up the missiles with my Fox 2. Yeah, as always, One of the most amazing missiles in game, the R60. Let's try to get the other one. He's too fast. Let me warm it up again. Oh god damn it. Yes. Yeah, I'm going up. Fox 2. Splash another. So yeah, it's almost guaranteed that you get at least 1 kill, maybe 2 kills with this, because the BR is such a low BR to have R60s that you can actually do a lot of stuff. Yeah, the match is over because we had a lot of Harriers and stuff. But yeah, let's try another loadout and I see you guys in a bit. And here I'm going to show to you guys how to use it basically without the cannon. So I'm using the SPS pod together with 2 R3Rs and 2 R3Ss. They're pretty bad missiles, but it's still fun to fly basically like an interceptor. It's pretty different. But I would advise you to use the cannons and the R60s. Or even the R60s with the flares, but at least the R60s, they are pretty good. So we have a kind of a top tier game right now, so this is going to be a little bit harder, but still fun. Come on. I can't. Not enough time, guys. Let's try to get this MiG-17. Okay, splash one with the R3S. This is a pretty well mixed match actually. Jesus, my brain freezed. Come on, radar. Nah. Yeah. Not good enough. Not good enough. Yeah, this is the problem, right? If I had a cannon, I could have killed the guy. So yeah, like I said before, I still advise you to use the cannon, even though the flares and chaff is pretty fun to fly. Let me try to. Come on, stop turning. It's turning too much. Nah, not gonna be able to do this. Let's try to turn around. Ah, he's coming to me. Right. This was not a good idea. I thought he was going straight. Oh, Jesus. Let's try to run a little bit. Yeah, I'm low on fuel. I used the yeah, that's the good part about using the flares. The only good part, but I think I'm dead. Jesus, what the fuck happened to my rudder? God damn it. Yeah, that was not good. But I was kind of pinched. And yeah, this was it for the air battles. I mean, as you saw, I mean, the main thing that you have to take on that is that the R60s are too easy to use. So just use the R60s if you're going to get this. And of course, try to use the cannons as well. Even though the flares are pretty useful sometimes, the cannons normally are a little bit more. So just to show around a little bit, we have CCIP for the rockets, as you see. so it's pretty good to use on air-to-ground missions. But it doesn't have CCIP or CCRP for the bombs. So consider that if you're going to try to use it as an air-to-ground weapon in ground battles. I mean, it's mainly an interceptor slash fighter. So yeah, the payloads are not that great, but still, it has a decent payload for this type of small fighter. So yeah, pretty cool. And yeah, but my verdict basically is you should buy it if you have the money to spare, basically, because I mean, if you're going to pay from your own money, I mean, I don't think it's the best idea. Probably if you don't have any premiums and don't have any jets and you're trying to get into jets and stuff a little bit quicker, I would advise you to get it. But I mean, it's just a MiG-21 at 10.0. There's not much to say about it. I mean, it's one of my favorite aircraft, that's why I bought it. But if you don't have this kind of a relationship with an aircraft, you shouldn't buy a premium one, you know? Only if you really want to grind that Tech 3 really fast. So I mean, normally I would advise you to get a talisman on an aircraft that you like. It's probably the best idea possible, and you're going to spend a lot less money doing so. But if you like the MiG-21, if you need a new aircraft to grind it out, the Tech 3, the German Tech 3, and you need a fun one to have a little bit of fun in 10.0, I advise you to buy it. I mean, it's such a fun aircraft. It's such a light and nimble aircraft. It has so many options in playstyle. This is one of the reasons, as I said before, that I bought it. So yeah, I probably would advise you to buy it if you want to have this kind of fun, okay? So yeah, this was it, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. Tomorrow we'll probably see a video on missiles and the new mechanics on the semi-active missiles that we have. So yeah, the full review of these aircraft together with the others, other MiG-21s, will be released in the upcoming weeks. I'm doing a full guide on all the MiG-21s, so I did the part 1, which I covered the first and a little bit of the second generation, and the second one will end the second generation, starting with the third. So yeah, make sure to subscribe and check out all my videos, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye.